Tatjana Zdanoka, you have been to Crimea and you observed the referendum. So you are very knowledgeable about what happened there. How you estimate the reactions of the West?
I think that this reaction is not balanced, is unjust. The West is always speaking about either Ukrainians, either when speaking about Russians, using the word pro-Russia. Protesters or people, but these are Ukrainian citizens of being Russian native speakers. We are 25 million such people out of Russia, and at least 6 million in the European Union, and taking into account Ukraine, Moldova, and Caucasus republics, some 10 million, more than 10 million in Europe. And our identity is not respected in almost all post-Soviet republics out of Russia. That is a problem. And I, for example, in Ukraine have my old combatants for the rights of Russian language, for the rights of Russian speakers of the education in Russian language. We are fighting in Latvia as well as in Ukraine. And these rights are not respected. And therefore, I think Europe is using double standards, and clear Russophobia prevails within all statements on Ukraine.
What do you think about the fears of the West, of a renaissance of Russian Empire? Because they use only two words, empire, Russian Empire, and Putin.
That's what I am completely against, because Russia is another civilization, and you have not to deny it. You have to respect another point of view. If we are speaking about respect of different cultures, different languages, then we have to respect also Russian language and the right of people to use it. And that is at stake in Crimea, that is at stake in eastern Ukraine as well as in Kiev.
Tatjana Zdanoka, you said about Russian language. So why you think there is such a situation that rights which are accepted in European Union, because there are more and more languages that are getting higher and higher regional status, and why language is taken hostage in post-Soviet space?
That is the result of the Cold War. Someone has to be hostage for defeat of Soviet Union in the Cold War, and unfortunately, Russian speakers became such hostages in Latvia as well as in Ukraine, because Russia itself, it accepted independence of all other republics. It was not at that time, at the beginning of 90s, the good target for declaring Russia as responsible, as an enemy after the defeat of Soviet Union. So Russian speakers were chosen as the target. And can you imagine, for example, what could the European Union say if 1/3 of population, for example, in Belarus, is deprived of the rights to vote and deprived of citizens' rights? But Latvia was taken on board with such a huge stateless population, taken on board in the European Union with all Copenhagen criteria.
Tatjana Zdanoka, you said it's about civilization. Russia is civilization. So do you believe that Samuel Huntington said, now we witness the clash between civilizations?
Yes, in some sense, yes. But you see, within Russia, there are also a clash of so-called pro-Easterners and pro-Westerners, Slavianophile and Westerners. And I myself think that Russia is an alternative West. And us, Russians, living in the borders of Russia, living in the countries as Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, being members of the European Union, we have also multiple identity. I think in modern Europe we have to speak more on multiple identity of people, because pure national state, one language, one state, one citizenship is in the past. And people with multiple identity, with all conditions to preserve this identity, with all modern means of satellite television, internet, mobile connection, etc., etc. Just enforcing this possibility to preserve such an identity, and that is a way for Europe I would like to see.
Thank you. Tatjana Zdanoka.